Surgery. She's like, everything. We need you like in the complete buff. And I was like, what you mean in the complete buff? You know, I have to take my drawers off? Like, I mean, and then you about to sedate me? It's about to be, I'm about to be under anesthesia. You don't want me to have no drawers on? Like, hey you guys, this is Shonae. Thank you so much for coming back to Shonae's Law. So this is going to be part 2 of my bunionectomy series that I'm going to have. If you've seen part 1 already, then you're going to prepare. If not, please go check out part 1 so part 2 can make sense, because we're going to be talking about what happened after I prepared for my surgery and how that went. So this video is going to be called The Process, what happened and what followed up after my preparation. So to pick up where we left off, I was at my appointment time. The nurses brought me back to the room and, you know, they prepped me, they took my vitals. I took another pregnancy test again because everybody wants me to be a baby mama so badly. My God. Honestly, I probably took, I know I took more than 5 pregnancy tests. I know I did. I know that I took more than 5 pregnancy tests. It was awful. But anyway, so I was back there. Then I asked my mother and my brother to leave the room. And then they made me change into a gown. And she's like, I need you to take everything off. And I'm like, wait, everything? It's a foot surgery. She's like, everything. We need you like in the complete buff. And I was like, what you mean in the complete buff? You know, I have to take my drawers off? Like, I mean, and then you about to sedate me? It's about to be, I'm about to be under anesthesia. You don't want me to have no drawers on? Like, so, I mean, so ladies, if you're about to have a bunionectomy, hey, chances are they're going to want you, you know, absolutely in the raw. They're going to want you all natural under the hospital gown. And I tried to finesse the situation. I'm like, you know, why can't I have my panties on? Because it's a foot surgery. They're like, look, you gotta be sterile. I'm like, y'all ain't got no sterile drawers. You want me back here? Like, that ain't gonna lie. That made me mad. I really felt let down. You about to go in here and sedate me, cut my foot open with no drawers on? Like, are you serious? I just felt violated. I had a friend of mine that she had breast surgery. She had a breast augmentation. She told me she'd take her drawers off for that. I was just like, really? Anyway, you know, just that might be a little too much, but just know, if you gotta get this type of surgery, they want you all natural, even for a foot surgery. So just keep that in mind. I don't know what they got going on, but I did try, y'all. I tried hard. I tried to negotiate. I tried to use these damn degrees because Lord knows they using them in corporate America. I was really trying to use my negotiation skills to try to keep my drawers, but she's like, well, if you were on your cycle, maybe. Anyway, so after I couldn't keep my drawers on, she made me take a painkiller. And I was concerned because I told her, you know, I can't eat or drink anything. So she gave me like a very small sample of water to take with the painkiller and for nausea. I think she said it was for both. So my family's still waiting out. They get me, and I'm in the gown taking these things. Then they put my IV in. And they put the IV in. I sit down. And basically I'm just waiting at this point. Because it's already, you know, like after 12. So my family comes back in. They spend time with me. They talk to me. My mother prays over me. Because mind you, I'm a very healthy person. I haven't had any issues until I started working where I worked at. You know, the first time I was there, it was allergies. And then I developed something called environmental asthma. Who the hell gets environmental asthma? This girl. Anyway, so, you know, this is my first surgery ever. You know, I had wisdom teeth extraction, but I mean, it's more common than getting your feet fixed. So we're in there and, you know, we're praying and she's trying to, you know, keep me relaxed. But I can see the worry on her face. I understand. I get it. And they went back out to the lobby. And then the doctor came in, their doctor, excuse me, not my doctor. The nurses came in and they're like, oh, are you ready? So you know me, I'm natural. So I'm like, are you going to have a bonnet for my hair on this cotton? Because I do have a silk bonnet in my bag. She's like, you're gonna be fine with getting your surgical bonnet. You know, it's gonna be gentle. I'm like, okay. I'm 3C, low porosity, dense. I don't need these curls getting messed up. And she's like, I got you. So eventually they roll me back, you know, to the prep room where everybody lined up. Everybody about to have something done. You know, I like to call it death row. Shout out to Pop. But anyway, everybody's in there. So they roll me back. People away. Some people are like, some people are knocked out. Like, it was crazy. I roll in. This dude is just looking at me. I'll wonder if somebody like, sir, why are you trying to scope me out? All of us are in here. You know, like, how you be trying to check out girls at the damn ER? But, you know, whatever. They brought me down. I sat there. Nurses came. Then I had a male nurse. He came and talked to me. He came to check on me. And then we had another woman come up. She took my vitals again, checked the IV, made sure the IV was good. And then anesthesiologist came. And they introduced themselves. And they told me it was going to be okay. They double checked the vital chart. And they asked me additional questions too. You know, and have you eaten anything? You know, this, that, and the third. They kind of went over the same thing. So I did like that. I did like that. It was kind of repetitive. But I did like the fact that everybody did keep asking certain things just in case anybody had dropped the ball before them. So I did feel safe around them. And then the other anesthesiologist guy came over and he was like, honey, we're going to take care of you. I'm going to be right there behind the sheet because they're going to have a sheet. Look, chances are you won't wake up, but you're not going to see anything if you do. I'm going to be right there with you every step of the way, making sure that you don't wake up. I was like, he's like, not like that. That you don't wake up during the surgery. I'm like, okay, now you can't tell nobody nothing like that, you know, but we talked it out and everything was good. So after anesthesiologist came and we talked and we had a little bonding moment, if you will, I did feel better because, you know, the second anesthesiologist, I felt like he had my back. You know what I'm saying? I felt like we was here. You know what I mean? Maybe that's his job, but I felt like we was here. So I had my moments of, you know, slight meditation. I prayed, but I wasn't scared anymore. I was no longer nervous. I was like, yes, I'm about to start getting my feet fixed. It was great. I was calm. I was super calm. I was more worried about my mom, you know, so I was worried about her. And then my doctor came in, my podiatrist came in. He came in and he talked to me and we recapped everything. He said, which foot are we getting done? I said, the right foot. So he took off my surgical sock and he autographed it. Make sure they autograph your foot, okay? They autograph your foot to ensure that the right foot is getting fixed, okay? I'm getting both done, but that particular day was the right one. So he autographed the foot. He said, what are we doing? And I recapped. I said, we're doing a bunionectomy, a tailor's bunionectomy, and a hamilton correction. And we recapped it all. We made sure that we were on the same page, which we were, because at this point, me and my doctor had gotten pretty cool. I was seeing him like every 2 weeks anyway, and he loves the fact that I'm a nerd just like him. I'm always researching because I had to be proactive in this process. I wasn't going to sit around and let some man that I don't know cut my foot open and, you know, but we got real cool over time. So, you know, we had a moment. He took, did he take a selfie? He took a picture of the foot for the after, for the before. I still haven't seen it yet. When my next appointment comes up, hopefully I'll get to see it. But he took a picture of the foot, the before, and he told me that he's gonna go prep. He had his little scrubs on. I was like, it's serious. Dr. B is out here. Well, I had never seen him like that, y'all. He was all ready for surgery and ready to go to war, honey. I was like, damn, foot. I don't know. They're looking good for you, you know. So he leaves. The anesthesiologist come back. A little confusion because they were like, you know, your doctor should be here. I'm like, he's already here. He was here like 10 minutes ago. They're like, oh, we can get ready then. Mind you, it's almost 2 o'clock. They were supposed to start at 1. So after I let them know he's there, the anesthesiologist comes back over and then he's like putting more medicine inside of my IV. I already know what he was doing. He was like, usually this is the part where people forget everything. And I laughed. I was like, and then I woke up. And it was like, I could hear my mother. My mother was speaking and I could hear her talking to my little brother. And I was just like, Mom, like my eyes weren't open yet. I just kept saying, Mom. And then I felt like a straw. And she's like, here, drink this. And it was the best Sprite. It was the best Sprite I ever had in life. I'm not lying, y'all. It was the best Sprite anybody could ever have. That Sprite was the bee's knees. That Sprite, they don't sell that Sprite in stores. It was amazing. So I woke up and I was like, oh, my foot hurt. My foot hurt. Ugh. It was bad. So the nurse was like, yeah, I can feel it. My foot hurt. So then she gave me a painkiller. And then, we sat down, I drank it. I drank more Sprite. She gave me more Sprite. And I'm thinking, all that money I done paid, y'all better give me some more Sprite. It's the least you could do. And I looked down and I'm like, oh my gosh, look at my foot. It was this big old, it was like, I don't know. It was wrapped up in these huge, fat gauze. And they had these large ace bandages wrapped up around it. It was a whole production. It was a whole production, I can tell you, just from the look of it. So I sat there and wanted to make sure that I was doing good, because I was in the recovery room when my family was there. And so I sat there while they kind of monitored me. They checked my charts, and then the nurse was like, okay, you can go ahead and go home now. Everything's looking good. You don't have any excessive bleeding or anything, so go ahead and put your clothes on. Be careful. Put them on, and we're gonna let you go home. So I got up. The first thing I wanted to do was put my drawers back on. I had to put them drawers on. You all don't understand. That was step one for me. I put all my clothes back on, and then got my things, got my mother, and then another nurse came in. I didn't really like her. She wasn't very Southern hospitality. No, she wasn't very Ludacris's album at all. It was just, And she gave me some struggle crutch walking lessons, and it was just awful. I don't think, how you gonna be a home nurse and not know how to teach people to be on crutches? I wasn't that pressed about it, because I had my little knee scooter at the crib. I wasn't that pressed about it, but still, how do you not know how to give people lessons with crutches? But anywho, I digress. I got it together, and it didn't even matter, because guess what? The wheelchair was right in the doorway waiting for me. So I was like, whatever, lady, do your thing. Got in the wheelchair. They rolled me out to the car, and I'm very strategic, okay? I told you I had the whole thing set up. So, ladies and gentlemen, if you're getting surgery, this is something you can do. I already had it mapped out. I had one of my favorite big old blankets in the back seat, and I had it rolled up. So once I got up on one foot, my left foot, I kind of bounced and edged back into the back seat. And I propped my foot up on my pillow and my blanket. So I had it elevated, but I was in the back seat. So make sure y'all are getting in the back seat of your car while your foot is propped up. And I have my seatbelt on. So I'm sitting behind the driver, which was my mother. Seatbelt on, foot elevated up in the back seat. Okay? Got it? Good. And we drove like all the way home. So my goal was to just try to eat and go to sleep, because at this point, y'all, it was almost 8 o'clock at night. Mind you, I had ate all day. I had not eaten in 24 hours, because I think I had stopped eating around 6:30. March 8th, it's March 9th, it's 8 o'clock again. So it's like I had not eaten. I just wanted to eat and go to sleep. I was a little groggy. I got home, hobbled up the stairs with my new crutches, but my knee scooter was by the front door, because I ain't had time for them crutches. So I hopped on and rolled to my room. I put my bonnet on, got in the bed, just propped up the foot, laid down. And that was that. And then I was going to try to eat. I had me a smoothie. I was going to sip that. And it was late, because my mother had planned to go to Popeye's Chicken for us, which we never eat fast food. So that was a big deal for me. She didn't get to go, though, because, it was super late. Everybody was tired. And I tried to eat, and I threw up immediately. It was awful. And I took my painkiller. And I was like, I'm gonna try to eat, and I couldn't keep anything down. I promise you, I vomited probably 3 times. And I was getting frustrated, because I'm like, dang, my nausea pill, my painkiller, everything's coming up. So I guess for my next foot, and what I would tell anybody else, make sure that you try to take that at the hospital, I suppose. I would have definitely took my nausea pill earlier. Had I known this, I would have took nausea pill probably at the ER before I went home. That way I could have eaten something and kept it down. But that wasn't in my paperwork. Nobody told me. So I learned the hard way. Hopefully if you watch this video, you won't have to. Try to take that before you even take the painkiller. That way it can be in your system and you can eat. So that was kind of, I went to bed kind of hungry because I had vomited like 3 times. It was awful. And when I did speak to somebody about it, they said it was my anesthesia. The anesthesia, you know, one of the side effects is that it makes you nauseous. Go figure. So I pretty much just iced the foot. Well, I didn't ice the foot itself. It had a soft cast on. So it had the gauze. It had like a splint to keep the foot angled at a certain position. And then it was wrapped around in the ace bandages. So I had it propped up. I had to ice underneath my right kneecap. I thought it was weird too, but it does work because the cooling sensation goes down. Mind you, everything, the muscle underneath your arch, all the way behind your leg, up to the gluteus maximus area, that muscle is all connected. So the cooling sensation actually did go down and it kept the swelling down. So that actually worked, and I propped up the foot, I iced it, and I just went to bed. Went to bed a little mad because I couldn't eat. So next morning I got up, I took both. I took the nausea pill and the pain pill, and I had breakfast. And I started watching TV, and I had no pain. I didn't feel any pain. I was just not comfortable. You know, I got up, I washed up. That was interesting. Get you a shower seat, okay? Just do it. Get you a shower seat. Especially if you're gonna get both feet done. Get you a shower seat. It's a shower chair. Get you a shower chair, okay? Put it in the shower. So you can sit down and clean yourself and get all of that done. A shower chair. I'm gonna put the picture right here. Make sure you get one, okay? You need this thing. You need it. Ate breakfast. I took my vitamins because I hadn't been able to take my vitamins for days. Because when you go to the outpatient facility for the setup, you know, for the prep, they're going to tell you no vitamins, none of this. There's a lot of stuff you can't do the days before the surgery. I took those. And I just started binge watching on Netflix. I watched some TV. My doctor actually called me as promised. He called me around 12 o'clock. I was probably a little high. I was on Percocets. And, you know, I don't do drugs and nothing like that. So, oh, honey, you know, if you like, you know, a pharmaceutical version and you take a Percocet, I was just a little loopy. I didn't like the sensation. I knew I needed to take them for the pain, but I really just didn't like the slight fuzziness of what was going on, because I like to be in control. But he called me, he checked on me, he asked if I was feeling okay. Are you dizzy? Are you this? I told him, you know, last night I couldn't really eat. I was throwing up. He said it was your anesthesia. Make sure you're taking your nausea pills and staying on top of that and eating and hydrating. So shout out to him. He did call me. He did check on me, and he made sure I was okay. And he told me that I was going to see him the following week. So I did see him. Like, my first appointment was like 5 days to just check out how the foot was doing. I just stayed in the bed the next few days. I wrote, I read, I watched TV, I binge watched on Netflix, I watched YouTube videos, I watched videos about foot healing. At this point, there's nothing I could do. I could just relax and chill. I kept the foot elevated for a very long time. I just kept the foot elevated. And I kept it iced. It was like, I believe it was 30 minutes on, 30 minutes off. You know, I just stayed on top of that for. I made sure I ate. I made sure I took my vitamins. I stayed hydrated. And I also had to take baby aspirin. And the baby aspirin was to make sure that my blood didn't clot, because we couldn't get a blood thinner. For whatever reason, my insurance didn't want to pay for a blood thinner. So he told me to get baby aspirin. So I was taking those too. So if y'all can't get any blood thinners, baby aspirin works too, because I didn't get a blood clot. And I moved around when I could, you know, I moved my arms. I would, after a while, I started working out my upper body, you know, because, you know, first few days I took it easy. I definitely took it easy. I sat down a lot. And I was worried because I was reading about muscle atrophy. He even told me about muscle atrophy. And that's when you lose the muscle in whatever portion of your body is not being worked out or being utilized as it normally would. So I was worried about that. So I tried to move around, be a little active, because I definitely didn't want a blood clot. You know, those things are evil. And I did what I could to move around, stay active. And eventually I had my first follow-up appointment. And when I went, they took an x-ray. That was difficult. It was kind of painful because, you know, you can't bear weight. Ideally, you're not supposed to bear weight for 6 to 8 weeks, because that's how long it normally takes for your foot to heal. But they had me trying to get an x-ray on this foot, and that was uncomfortable because they took all the dressing off. I rolled back there, and the nurse was like, just try to press down as you can. And I was scared because everybody knows if you press down on that foot, it's over. And I had reconstructive surgery, okay? And I also had pins placed at the top of 4 of my toes except the big toe. So my metatarsals 2 through 5 had pins sticking out of them. So I got those to worry about, and also to straighten the toes. That was the procedure used to straighten the toes. They're sticking out of the bone. I'm just frightened. I have a lot of, there was a whole production done on this foot, but we got the x-rays the best that we could. We went back, they cleaned the foot, he checked on me, and he cleaned around the stitches. He reapplied all of the gauze, reapplied the splint, the little white gauze splint, and put the ace bandages back around it. So then he told me, I'm going to see you next week and we're going to take the stitches out. And I'm like, already? Well, mind you, I ain't never had surgery, so I just thought it was a little early. But at that point, it would have been 2 weeks. So in the meantime, I kept it elevated. I kept it iced. I kept myself busy. I finally seen season 1 of Game of Thrones. I'm behind, I know. Y'all might think I'm lame, I know. I'm behind. I'm going to get it together though. I promise. But I did watch all the Braxton Family Values. I watched all of those. To the point that, mind you, the last season that was coming on around March and April of this year, I was already caught up because I had binge watched. I seen all of the Benson Tamar. Let's see. I caught up on a lot of stuff, because I watch TV, but I don't be, not as much as the average person would. I be behind on a lot of stuff, so, but I'm caught up now. But I watched all of those, and then when I went back for my second post-op appointment, they took me out of my soft cast, and they were going to make me a hard cast. And of course, me, I had to get it purple. And so in the middle of all of this, he's like, let's take out the stitches. And I'm like, oh my gosh. I counted 54. When he took it all off and I had a chance to look at it, I was like, oh my gosh. It was just stitches. The first metatarsal had the biggest, longest cut. Oh. And the toes all had cuts. And then the 5th metatarsal with a bunion net, the bunion net was fixed, had, oh my gosh, it was like 54 stitches. And he's like, I just wanted you to relax and breathe. We've got to take them off because, it'll try to stick to your skin. And the longer these stitches stay in, the longer it's going to hurt. And I was like, oh my gosh, so, okay. And so, he sits down, tells me to relax. And luckily, he talks to me. My mother's there too. My mother's always there. She drove me everywhere. So they're talking to me and, they're cracking jokes. But I'm like, There was a few times, goodness, y'all. There was a few times as he's clipping them that, I was like, is the foot going to go numb? Because people say when they get a tattoo after a while, it goes numb. So I'm like, yeah, for real? Okay, all right, Ooh, yeah, I'm going through it. But I'm trying. And there's a little blood here and there, and he finally gets on this side. I'm like, oh my God, that was just for that side. The toes didn't hurt as bad. It was the first metatarsal and that 5th one where the scars was. So I'm like, oh God. Like I'm going to labor. Like it was bad. You get over here, finally, he's done. And my eyes were watering. I wasn't crying, but my eyes were watering from the pain. It was like, how your eyes bulge, and they were like, it was awful. I couldn't do it. But then they finally came back and they did the dressing for the cast, which that was, a lot of work. And she wrapped it up and she put the little material on. She had dyed it. It was cute. So my cast turned out real cute. I still had them pins on my foot and they put a little sleeve over it, and they covered those up. I'm like, you better cover up them daggone pins. Yeah. Anywho, so that's how I got that cast, and had the cast for 2 weeks. So I'm still trying to keep myself busy at home. I'm still, eating, taking my pills, and hanging in there. I go back for my 3rd post-op appointment. I'm going to get a cast because I'm 4 weeks post-op. So I went back in, and once those were taken out, okay. So I went back in for my 3rd post-op appointment. And this time he checked out the foot. I had to do yet another x-ray. Basically, every time I came in, I had to do an x-ray so they could see the progress of my bone healing. So at this point, the first metatarsal and the toes, those bones are perfectly healed. It's my 5th metatarsal where the bunion net was, that's slowing everything down. So I have 2 pins that are making an DMX over here, where my first metatarsal is. Shout out to DMX. He should make that his album cover. Anyway, the fifth metatarsal just has one pin. And I even asked him, is that pin, is it the position of the pin? Is that what's slowing it down? He was like, no, I don't think that is. And so it was just slow about it. So then he took me out of the big cast. And my leg, ooh, y'all, my leg was so ashy. My poor little leg, and I had no muscle. My calf muscle was gone. It was no muscle in my calf at all. And my leg was super ashy. So I'm worried, like, how many times am I going to have to scrub with hot soap and water to get the skin off? Like, it was, But so then he puts on, I tell him, like, I need to have something to cover up my foot because I still got these pins in. So he makes a small foot cast. He makes it red and he covers up the pins, the top of the toes. And I'm going to wear this for basically 2 weeks. So as soon as I got home, I scrubbed my leg trying to get that dead skin off. It was awful. So just know that when they take your hard cast off, if you had this kind of surgery, your leg is going to be super dry. Your leg is going to be a little crusty. But what I used was Vaseline Intensive Care Cocoa Butter. And I also used the Shea Butter lotion from Gold Bond. That got my leg together within like 2 days. Once I cleaned it real good, I put that lotion on and my skin was getting back to normal. But you just got to give it time, but stay on top of it. So that works for me. I was still worried about that fifth metatarsal. So I doubled up on my zinc and my calcium and anything that could help me heal at this point, because I was getting sick and tired of it. Because by the time I came back from my fourth post-op appointment, 6 weeks out, I still wasn't healed. And I thought, well, maybe I'm just, a 6 to 8 week person. Because that is possible. It takes 6 to 8 weeks. So we went back. He takes the red cast off. I see the foot. He takes the pins out. Now, that hurt like hell. What I didn't know was I was supposed to stop taking the baby aspirin probably a week or two before. So next time I'll be prepared. But if you are on baby aspirin, any type of blood thinner, and you have pins in the toes, ask how long should you be on it. Because they didn't tell me this. Again, I learned the hard way. Ask them how long you should be on it before they take the pins out, because I bled a lot. He took the pins out, he put band-aids over them, and basically told me that the fifth metatarsal still was not healed and that he would have to not recommend any weight bearing at all. So here we are, 6 weeks out, and then it became 8 weeks out, and I'm still not walking. I'm still not healed, but luckily all the pins are out. Luckily the toes and the first metatarsal, those bones healed perfectly. So basically metatarsals 1 through 4 were on point. I didn't have any issues. So basically by week, post-op week 8, visit 5, I'm still not walking, I'm still not bearing weight, and I'm starting to get a little frustrated, starting to get a little concerned too. Because mind you, like every appointment, I was having to have my doctor, my podiatrist office fill out paperwork for medical leave, because some people will hound you. But once I learned that I got to have that paperwork in every time, it got better for me. But it was that stress, the stress of your body not healing, it was a lot. So it was, at that point, it basically just became more appointments that required me to just turn in paperwork and see updated. So I was just going in for a string of appointments and getting x-rays just to see the progression. And I ain't gonna lie, I started to get really frustrated, because by the time April rolled around, I thought I'd be up on my feet. I had to go to the orthodontist, because I do have bonded retainers, top and bottom. I had to go there on that knee scooter, and I had to go to the OBGYN. Ladies, that was interesting. That was interesting, going to the OBGYN on your knee scooter. That was very interesting. It worked though. I'm alive, I'm well, I'm checked. My results was good, but it got frustrating. I was in the house and allergy season was around, so that was a good thing. I didn't have the normal issues that most people would with allergies, so I think that's a plus sign. But I started to get a little agitated after a while, and a little bit after that, things changed. So this is gonna conclude part 2. Thank you for watching so much. Make sure that you tune in for part 3. Make sure your notification bells are turned on too if you are subscribed. You should be subscribed at this point. I done told you all my business. You know that, I couldn't have drawers on when I got my surgery. You know my business now. We supposed to be friends at this point, okay? Make sure you like, comment, subscribe. Share any of your stories down below too. So I'll see you guys in part 3.